Your life is not shaped by what happens to you. It is shaped by the mindset you meet it with. Think about that. Two people can lose the same job, face the same failure, hear the same criticism, and walk away completely changed from one another. One becomes bitter, stuck, convinced life is against them. The other becomes sharper, hungrier, convinced this is only the beginning of something better. Same event, completely different outcome. The difference was never the circumstance. The difference was the mindset standing behind it. Success is predictable. It's not luck and it's not magic. It's hard work and discipline. But hard work and discipline are almost impossible to sustain when your mindset is working against you instead of for you. Most people spend their entire lives trying to change their results. Better income, better relationships, better health, better opportunities. But very few people ever stop to examine the one thing quietly controlling all of it: their mindset. Because your mindset is the lens you see everything through. And if that lens is cracked, distorted, or negative, everything you look at through it will appear distorted too. Change the lens, and suddenly the same life looks completely different. Now understand this clearly. Mindset is not about pretending everything is fine. It is not about forced positivity or ignoring real problems. Mindset is the internal framework that decides whether a setback becomes an excuse to quit or fuel to keep going. It decides whether a closed door feels like rejection or redirection. It decides whether difficulty feels like proof you should stop, or proof you are being tested and shaped. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. But that bridge is built from mindset first, because a mind that believes it cannot cross will never even attempt to try. We're going to explore how mindset silently shapes your reality, why some people grow through pressure while others collapse under it, how your daily mental habits are quietly training the mind you'll have tomorrow, and why mindset eventually stops being something you have and becomes who you actually are. Because if you want a different life, you cannot start with your circumstances. You have to start here, in your mind. Mindset is everything. Not because it does the work for you, but because it decides whether you'll even show up to do the work at all. Let's start with something most people overlook completely. The event itself rarely determines the outcome. The mindset interpreting that event does. Think about two employees who both receive harsh feedback from their boss on the same afternoon. One goes home replaying it all night, convinced they're not good enough, convinced this proves they never will be. The other goes home, sits with it for a moment and asks, what can I actually learn from this? Same words, same room, same moment, but two entirely different futures being built from it. Success is predictable. It's not luck and it's not magic. It's hard work and discipline. But notice something important here. Discipline only survives when the mindset behind it interprets difficulty correctly. A mindset that sees failure as identity will quit early because quitting feels like the only way to stop the pain. But a mindset that sees failure as information will adjust, adapt, and continue because the pain becomes useful instead of permanent. Now think about how much of your life is actually shaped by interpretation rather than fact. A rejected opportunity can mean I'm not capable, or it can mean this wasn't the right fit, something better is coming. A financial setback can mean I'll never get ahead, or it can mean this is exactly the lesson I needed before real growth. The facts rarely change. The meaning you assign to them changes everything. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And becoming better starts with training your mind to interpret difficulty as direction, not as a verdict on your worth. Now, understand this deeply. This is not about ignoring reality. Positive mindset does not mean pretending problems don't exist. It means refusing to let temporary circumstances write a permanent story about who you are and what you're capable of. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, and the mind decides, moment by moment, whether that bridge feels crossable or impossible. Two people, same bridge, same distance to walk. One mindset sees a manageable challenge. The other sees an immovable wall. Neither the bridge nor the distance changed. Only the mind looking at it did. So the real question is never, what happened to me? The real question is always, what mindset am I choosing to meet this with? Because that single choice, repeated daily, quietly determines the entire direction of your life. Now let's talk about two very different kinds of minds, because this difference explains why some people keep growing their entire lives, while others stay exactly the same for decades. The fixed mind says, this is just who I am. I'm not a disciplined person, I'm not good with money, I'm not a morning person. I've always been this way. And that belief, repeated enough times, becomes a wall the person never even tries to climb over. The growing mind says something completely different. This is who I am right now, but I can develop. I can learn discipline. I can build new habits. I'm not finished becoming who I'm capable of becoming. Success is predictable. It's not luck and it's not magic. It's hard work and discipline. But here's the part most people miss. Talent is rarely the real differentiator between people who succeed and people who stay stuck. Willingness to grow is. Because a person with average ability and a growth mindset will eventually outwork and outgrow someone with far more natural talent, but a fixed belief about their limits. Think about how dangerous the phrase, "I'm just not that kind of person," really is. It sounds harmless. It even sounds honest, but it quietly closes a door that was never actually locked. It was only ever closed by belief. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, and a fixed mindset refuses to even step onto that bridge, because it has already decided the other side isn't meant for people like them. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And better is not a fixed destination. It is a direction available to anyone willing to believe they can move towards it. Now think about children learning to walk. They fall constantly. Nobody tells a toddler, "I guess you're just not a walking person." Everyone understands falling is simply part of learning. But somewhere along the way, many adults stop extending themselves that same grace. They fail once at something and immediately label themselves as incapable, instead of simply undeveloped. The growing mind rejects that label. It says, "I haven't mastered this yet," not "I never will." That one word, "yet," quietly rewires an entire life, because it turns a permanent identity into a temporary stage, and temporary stages can always be improved. Now let's talk about something rarely discussed directly. Mindset doesn't just interpret your life. It determines how much effort you're even willing to give it. Belief comes before action, not after. If your mind secretly believes something is impossible, you will quietly stop trying long before you consciously notice you've given up. Success is predictable. It's not luck and it's not magic. It's hard work and discipline. But hard work requires a mind that genuinely believes the work will matter. Think about how differently you approach a task you believe will work versus a task you secretly believe is pointless. With belief, you push through obstacles because you trust they're temporary. Without belief, you abandon the task at the first sign of difficulty because deep down, you already expected it to fail. The effort was never the real problem. The belief underneath the effort was. Now, this explains something important about people who seem to give up too easily. It's rarely laziness. It's usually an invisible mindset that decided long before the first obstacle appeared that success wasn't really possible for them. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And you cannot outwork a mindset that has already quietly decided you're going to fail. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, and effort is what you spend walking across it. But nobody spends real effort crossing a bridge they've already convinced themselves leads nowhere. That's why mindset must come first. Not after the results start showing up, but before you even begin. Now think about the opposite. A mind that genuinely believes growth is possible will tolerate far more difficulty, far more failure, and far more delay. Simply because it trusts the process is leading somewhere. That trust is not naive, it's strategic, because effort without belief burns out fast. But effort backed by belief can absorb setback after setback and keep moving forward anyway. So before you ask, how do I work harder? Ask a more important question first. What do I actually believe is possible for me? Because your effort will only ever rise to the level of that belief and not 1 inch higher. Now let's talk about pressure, because this is where mindset is truly revealed. Anyone can maintain a good mindset when life is easy. The real test comes when things get difficult. Setbacks, criticism, failure, rejection. These moments don't create weakness in a person. They reveal whatever mindset was already quietly present underneath the surface. Success is predictable. It's not luck and it's not magic, it's hard work and discipline. A weak mindset collapses under pressure. It interprets every setback as final proof that the goal was never realistic to begin with. It says, "See, I knew this wouldn't work," and quietly retreats to comfort. But a strong mindset treats pressure completely differently. It sees difficulty as a signal to adjust, not a signal to quit. Think about the difference between these two internal reactions to the exact same failure. One says, "This proves I'm not capable." The other says, "This shows me exactly what I need to work on next." Same failure, two completely different futures being built from the interpretation. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And better almost always requires pressure to reveal what needs strengthening in the first place. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And pressure is simply the wind, testing whether that bridge was built with a strong mindset or a fragile one. Now, here's something important to understand. You cannot avoid pressure forever. Every meaningful goal eventually brings resistance, criticism, failure, and doubt. That is not a sign you're on the wrong path. It's often a sign you're finally on the right one, because easy paths rarely lead anywhere worth going. The question was never whether pressure would come. It always does. The real question is what mindset will be standing there to meet it when it finally arrives. Now let's talk about something encouraging. Mindset is not something you're born with, fixed forever, unable to change. Mindset is trained. The same way a muscle is trained, through repetition, over time. Every day, you are feeding your mind something. Through your self-talk, your environment, the people you surround yourself with, and the habits you repeat without thinking. And whatever you feed it consistently, it eventually reflects back at you as belief. Success is predictable. It's not luck and it's not magic, and it's hard work and discipline. But that discipline becomes far easier when your daily mental inputs are working with you instead of against you. Think about what happens when someone constantly consumes negativity, complains daily, and surrounds themselves with people who mock ambition. Over time, that environment quietly trains a mindset that expects failure and mocks effort. Now think about the opposite. Someone who feeds their mind with growth, discipline, and possibility, who protects their environment intentionally. Over time, that person trains a mindset that expects progress and treats effort as normal, not exceptional. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And better is built through small, repeated mental choices, not one dramatic transformation. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And every day you choose stronger self-talk over self-doubt, you're laying another plank across it. Every day you protect your mind from unnecessary negativity, you're reinforcing that same bridge. This is not about becoming naive or unrealistic. It's about becoming intentional. Because your mind is always being trained by something, whether you are paying attention or not. The only real choice is whether you're the one doing the training, or whether you're simply letting your environment do it for you by default. Now, let's bring this together. Mindset does not stay something you occasionally practice. Over time, it stops being something you have and becomes something you simply are. It becomes identity. And once mindset becomes identity, it starts making decisions for you automatically, long before you consciously think them through. A person who has trained a growth mindset for years doesn't have to talk themselves into trying again after failure. It's simply who they've become. Success is predictable. It's not luck and it's not magic. It's hard work and discipline. But that discipline eventually stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like identity, because you've repeated it long enough that it's no longer a decision. It's simply you. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And every day you choose a stronger mindset over a weaker one. You're voting for the identity you're quietly becoming. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And mindset was always the ground the bridge was built on. Change the ground, and you change everything constructed on top of it. So return to where we started. Your life is not shaped by what happens to you. It is shaped by the mindset you meet it with. Not once, but every single day, in every small decision nobody else will ever see. Mindset is everything, not because it replaces effort, discipline, or action, but because it decides whether you'll ever give yourself the chance to use them. Train your mind today, not eventually, not someday, today. Because the moment your mindset changes is the exact moment your entire life begins to change with it.